Well, hello and good evening and happy Sunday to this is not Sunday. Happy Monday to everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 46 of the Detroit Metro Plug podcast, where connections matter. Bringing you interviews of Detroit difference makers in the area of entrepreneurship and community involvement. This is episode 46. That means that the Detroit Metro Plug podcast has interviewed over 46 individuals within the past year who are difference makers in the area of community involvement and entrepreneurship. So, just want to welcome everyone. Thank you for tuning in on this live podcast. And happy Monday. We're here in the Detroit, Michigan area where we are in the midst of the beginning of fall. It is dark outside right now. It gets dark about a quarter to eight, about eight-ish. The sun is setting. We starting to get a little bit of those cool temperatures in the morning. The leaves are falling. The leaves are changing colors. I actually like this time of the year, because I like how you can dress with, the sweaters and the boots and all that kind of stuff. So that's good. So hopefully everyone's having a good evening. If you're watching this live on YouTube, on Facebook, and on LinkedIn, I'm going to ask you a favor to like, share, comment, and share this with other people. We have a great guest tonight. If everybody's saying whether we're in there's inflation going on in the country. Some people are saying we're in a recession. Some people are not. We're trying to get back to work. We're still in the midst of the pandemic, but things are opening up. But definitely gas prices are up. Food prices, getting a dozen of eggs, those favorite potato chips is 50 cents to $1 more. I got a feeling they're going to raise the price on an Arizona iced tea. You may be facing a money crunch and you need to know about budgeting. So I got a special guest who's going to talk about budgeting for beginners, or if you just need to fine tune, she's going to show you tips on how to reach your financial goals. So I'm excited about today's guest. So welcome, welcome again. So let me do a little introduction for our guest today. All right, there you go. So our next special guest, she is a worldwide financial goal coach, co-author, speaker, founder of LP Consulting and Management, LLC. She helps women and men discover, develop, and reach their personal financial goals. She's been featured in the Lady T Peaks podcast, the Unscripted podcast, and the Seed Collective. And now she's on Detroit Metro Plug. So she's been around on various platforms. She has spoken at and facilitated numerous workshops in Jamaica, Canada, U.S. elementary schools, high schools, universities, institutions throughout the United States. She's a graduate with a Master's in Business Administration, 2016, from Colorado Technical University. She received a Certificate of Financial Planning for Young Adults in 2017. In addition to being an entrepreneur, she is a mother, a serial entrepreneur, and runs a local single mom support group at her church, and sits on the board of organizations that support women entrepreneurs and male advocates. Nice bio, nice bio. So, our next guest, if you don't know who I'm talking about none other than Miss Loretta Williams, the money coach.
Hello.
All right, so
Hello, hello.
yes, welcome, welcome. So what we do is before we get into all the questions and what you do, you gotta tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, who you with, whatever you want to share.
Where I'm
East side
from,
or west
okay.
side, your background. Just do us a little introduction. Tell us about yourself.
Oh, I am Loretta Williams, um, born and raised in the D. born and raised Detroit all day, West Side, West Side. I went to West Side Christian Academy, and then I went on and I went to Wayne County Community College, and then shortly after I had a son, and then I went to Colorado Technical University. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. What else? I'm in a family that, oh gosh, we have had, let's see, four four businesses. We've had a restaurant. We have Lee's Texas Style Barbecue. We've had Precious Lamb Daycare, transportation service, a coffee house. They used to be in Wonderland back in the day. Back in the day. So I come from a family full of entrepreneurs. It's in my blood. My dad's an entrepreneur. He has his own construction company. So that's all I know. I don't know if you knew that about me, Charles.
No, I didn't know about the restaurants and daycare center.
Yeah,
So your family, I didn't know they was involved in that. That's awesome.
absolutely.
Okay, so definitely representing West Side. That's me.
What's
So that's cool. That's cool. I just had a little fun. So you're born in
yeah.
Detroit. You went to a local Christian school,
Mhm.
and so let's talk about your journey into the where you're at with this. Now the company is called LP. What does the LP stand for?
That's actually the initials of my name.
Oh,
The
okay.
P is my middle name. We're not gonna go
Oh,
into that because I don't really,
you don't want to share? Okay, so
I
LP
don't
is
really want to
for
share
your
my
first and last name, consulting and management, and that started. When did that business start for you?
almost 10 years ago. It
10 years.
started
Wow,
almost 10 years
10
ago.
years ago.
We're
Okay,
creeping
okay.
up on 10 years in a
So
few months.
what's your journey into the financial sector and helping people? Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh yeah. So it started off. Honestly, it started off. I'll have to go way back to when I was a kid, and
Okay.
I experienced, you know what I mean, like us having these spurts where we would have a lot of money and we would travel and everything is good. And then I would experience these other spurts where we didn't have any money and we lived in hotels. um, and I was wondering, I mean, even as a kid, I was inquisitive, but I'm like, how is this so? How how do we own these businesses and we're living in a hotel?
Right.
How are we, what's the disconnect here? Like what's happening and what's not happening, really? And so asking that question as a kid, it was only so much I can do. Um and then I grew up and I experienced like some things in my life where I had a lot of money and then I didn't have a lot of money and I seen that same pattern and I was like, ooh, okay, something's got to change here. I'm trying to break this thing. I'm not trying to repeat what I experienced as a kid, let alone bring a kid into that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I then began to start reading a lot of books about finances and how to manage your finances. I also had pretty good examples too. Like I was fortunate enough to have my great grandmother in my life growing up. So I saw like my great grandmother budgeting and handling her money on
Mm-hmm.
both sides, on my mom's side and my father's side. And so I had them as an example, but it wasn't until I noticed like this is not just an us thing, like our family, like this is everyone around, right?
Mm-hmm.
This was an entire neighborhood. This was way bigger than an entire neighborhood. I was like, okay, how can I help? I'm older now. I'm grown at this point. And I don't want to be that status quo. I don't want to fit into that box. So again, I began reading a lot of books. And honestly, if we're being honest, that's all college is books and school. I finished school. And within that, I encountered a lot of a lot of financial classes. I also, after graduating, I was like, okay, I love this, right? So then I took more classes after I graduated because I was so intrigued, and I'm like, okay, it's got to be more. It's got to be more. So I just continue to take classes and go to workshops and get certifications and just learn as much as I could about finances and how to apply it to my life. And then I began applying it to my life as I was learning, as I
Okay.
was learning. So that's kind of what brought me here a little bit. I
Hmm.
also, like, a large part of what we do is is so cool. We are teaming up with foster care agencies, and we're helping foster children learn about finances. So providing that financial literacy so that they won't have to be in that same position of aging out of the system and not having the no the no the knowledge really on how to budget, how to save, how to handle their money. So it's not just men and women, it's children too. And yeah, I'm excited. It's a lot of good stuff going on. A lot of good stuff.
All
But
right.
that's kind
So,
of like my backstory a little bit.
all right. So your journey was a combination of life
Yeah,
experiences and also educating yourself uh, how to
absolutely.
overcome those experiences. So, your your focus is how would you define a financial goal coach?
Ooh. So I always tell people this. I'm like, if you have ever played a sport,
Hmm.
you know what a coach is.
Yeah.
That's me, just with your money. So you may not like me sometimes. I'm not going to yell at you or anything like that. But, I'm going to challenge you, right? And so that to me is the essence of the goal coach. I feel like I created that. The money goal coach.
Yeah.
And so, again, I'm challenging you to think about things you've never thought of before. You know what I mean? In regards to your money. And I'm training you to do better with your money because you're coming to me because you're in a position, or you're not satisfied where you are financially, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I always tell
So,
people, I'm like, I'm going to be transparent, I'm going to be honest. You may not you're not going to hate me, but you may there may be some days where you're like, you really get on my nerves.
okay. So, like a coach, helping a person get to their goals. So, what are some
Absolutely.
financial goals that people come to you with that they're trying to
Ooh. Okay, so
like
some financial
have
goals.
student loans or
Mhm. I get all of that. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah. Can you hear
Okay, I
me?
wasn't sure. Yes. So I can use her story because she allowed me. She gave me the permission to use her story. So one of my clients, she came to me. She did not have a job. She only had like a little side hustle, barely making it, right?
Hmm.
She had a lot of debt, and one of her goals was, I want to travel and I want to get out of debt.
Yeah.
That's two. And she wanted to move into a house. And it looked impossible. It's like, oh my God. Someone else looking into it, it's like, well, how is that gonna happen? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And so, starting from scratch, basically, we started from the bottom. Like, hey, what got you here? That's a question that I usually ask. Like, what brought you here and what got you here? What things did you do or did not do
Yeah.
that led you to me?
Hmm.
And she was honest, and I appreciate anytime I can get an honest client, like 100% honest. She was honest and transparent, and she was telling me some things, some of her choices, some of her spending habits, um, just life. You know what I mean? And so I helped her. Like, she's in school. I helped her get a job. We went through that whole phase of, well, what are you in school for? Okay, let's do some training on how to prepare for interviews. I also
Wow.
have an HR background too, so I'm able to do things like that. So helped her get a job in her field of study. Right now is the best time. I'm always telling people, whatever it is you want to do, now is the best time because everyone is hiring. No one wants to work, and they will train you to do anything
Right.
except for brain surgery.
Right. Right.
um, so it helped her get a job in her field of study, and then from there, because we had a consistent income, I
Hmm.
created that strategy for her to say, okay, here is how you say you want to get out of debt. Be
Hmm.
real. Bring me all of your debt, all of your bills, everything that you owe, and let me figure it out for you. But we also have to tackle the emotions behind what got you here in the first place. What got you into that debt in the first place? What choices did you make? So just tackling, all of that emotion that came behind it, and with her spending purchases and lack of payment, habits and everything. So she's at a point now where she's paid off 89% of her debt.
Wow.
And she hasn't even been with me for a year. She hasn't even been
Wow.
with me for a whole year. Yeah. It'll be a year in December. So she's paid off most of her debt, right? And the other day she reached out to me and I'm like, hey, what's going on? What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. She's like, yeah, I'm on vacation.
Wow.
What? She went to Florida. She has a trip planned to go to Europe. But
Wow.
yeah, her life is like, and I love it. I love seeing the transformation from people coming to me in those kind of situations where it honestly it looks hopeless. It looks like this is not, you can't. You know what I mean? But
Now,
to see the transformation
what were
is
some of
is amazing.
the specific tips that you helped her reach your goal? You know, our topic is money tips to reach your financial goal.
Yeah.
I saw that that was kind of going the extra mile. You helped her, I'm assuming, sharpen up her resume, and
Hmm.
you just had a little side hustle. I don't know what that was, but she was able
She
to get
was
a
taking
full
care of
time
a
job.
blind lady, a lady
Oh,
that
okay.
was
So she was doing
blind.
home health care,
Hmm.
and then she got a full time job. You helped her get a full time job.
Yeah, full
So
time job.
now, what was she living with family or alone or something else?
No, so she was living in a apartment that wasn't ideal.
Oh, okay.
If I can be honest, it
Just
wasn't the best of the best. But
just
now
had a
she's
living arrangement. Okay.
she's in the
So, what
suburbs.
was your tip? Did you just is there like some people have like a 30 30/70 rule. What did you tell? How did you instruct her to live below her means to pay off debt? Was there certain things she had to do, or what's the come on? Get us. What's the tip? We're gonna use her as a case
You
study.
want the tea? You want the
Yeah,
juice?
yeah. Did she go to Aldi's and buy a case of ramen noodles, like eat peanut butter and jelly? What people want to know? People are in situations that are like, what do you do? Like, how do you? What did they have to give up? What did she have to give up? Because she achieved most of her goals in a year. So what was?
Yeah.
So she got the job, and then what? She
So honestly, this is gonna sound maybe simple and a little like what, but pride, pride. She pride.
pride.
That was a lot of it. It was like, okay, and I know I kind of posted that the other day, but pride is the biggest thing. Like,
Okay.
you want to look good in front of your friends, you want to impress people, your
Right.
family,
Hmm.
you want to go out after work or go out, whatever. You got to set all of that to the side. A lot of that of what she did was sacrifice and putting her pride to the side. So, you know, yeah, there was some nights where it was like, okay, no, I'm not going to tell you to starve yourself. That's insane. You need to eat three
Right. Right.
meals just like everyone else. But
What about hair? Because hair is important to women.
we're go we're going to get to that. So I told her this. I said, Okay, one of your goals, you have all this debt. So let's attach a reward to all each bill basically. So when you pay off a bill, then you get to reward yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So when you pay off $150 of this DTE bill that you owe, you have to set a budget on how much you're going to allow yourself as the reward.
Okay.
So again, using an example, you paid $150. Okay, now I'm going to go get a pedicure, right?
All right.
That's like 45, $50 and maybe a little bit more. But I'm going to go get a pedicure. So you just attach a reward to the goal or the task rather.
Mm-hmm.
Because the goal is to be debt free, but the task is to pay that bill off. And so each bill you do that and you can give yourself things. So you're not really missing. You're not saying, I'm never going to get my hair done or I'm not going to get my hair done for a year. You're just saying, hey, okay, I need to pay this thing off so I can get my hair done.
But I mean, there got to be
So,
some little sacrifices in the short run.
yeah. Well, that's the sacrifice. If you're used to getting your nails done or your hair done every week or every 2 weeks, you're going to have to say, okay, I can't do that this month. I'm going to put the money that I would pay for my hair and nails onto that bill.
Okay.
Okay. A lot of times we do, and this is what I had mentioned at another event. A lot of times we do these money saving tips, and I've got a lot of them. A lot of times we do these money saving tips, but we never put the money towards something that we need to put it towards. Instead, we let it sit there and we spend it on something else.
So, what is your philosophy like for like credit card debt?
Mm-hmm.
You have people. There's philosophy of you start with the biggest one, or you start with the small one, and then you start stacking. What do
Mm-hmm.
you advise your clients?
Everyone is different. So my
Hmm.
advice is not going to be cookie cutter. It's not going to be the same for everyone, which
Hmm.
makes me different. But for some people, they may feel better starting with the most expensive bill, the most expensive credit card bill first. I
Hmm.
say start off with the one with low interest. Go ahead and pay that off. It's usually
Right.
a smaller bill, right? So
Hmm.
start off with the smaller bill, pay it off, and then just go from there. You don't
Right.
have to. There's no golden rule that says you have to do this, right?
Right.
But it's easier. The
And you-
people get more encouraged when they see that they've paid something off. They get more motivated.
yeah.
So that's why a lot of people start off paying the small bill first. You can, but you don't have to.
Now, um, so in your case study, did she have credit card debt?
Yes, but it wasn't a lot.
Okay.
It wasn't a lot. It wasn't like thousands of dollars. It was very small.
So, all right. So, when you're advising someone, and we're using it as a case study, so you first
Hmm.
tackle the credit cards first, right? Well, I don't know. Is that what you first deal with?
I use well with her because it was so small. Yeah,
Mhm.
like go ahead and pay it off. You know what I mean? And if you need to, especially if your credit card has like a rewards program or something like
Right.
that,
Right.
you can use the credit card to pay off the other debt and just
Okay.
pay on that.
So
But
you have a
again,
strategy. Okay.
yeah,
Mhm.
oh, definitely a strategy. Definitely a
Okay.
strategy. But again, because it was so low now,
Yeah.
and I knew she was for real about it, and she wasn't going to go off and pay down the credit card debt and then go max it out. You know what I mean? So she was really responsible,
All right. So your
really
strategy
committed.
is based upon the person's needs and what their goal. And you put a tailored plan as far as
Yes.
eliminating debt, finding money saving tips,
Mhm.
and helping them, keeping them accountable for reaching a goal, whether it's to improve their credit, to save up for a down payment for a house,
Mhm.
or pay off. Have you dealt with people who tried to pay, was working towards paying off student debt, or what about that? Or I
Absolutely.
think
I
you have
I
your own
mean,
testimony, right?
you treat it the same. In my opinion, again, it's just my opinion. to me, you treat it the same as you would credit card debt. You know what I mean? A bill is a bill is a bill. You pay it off.
Okay.
If you can pay more on it, that's great. If you can, like now, how, I mean, we've been great opportunity, great time, right? We're in this pandemic, 0% interest. A lot of people probably aren't paying it off. A lot of people are just letting it sit and saying, I hope that they wipe it all
The
off.
only yeah, 10,000 debt forgiveness, and then if you were getting a Pell Grant, potentially 20,000 in debt forgiveness. And there's a
Right.
whole
Potentially.
process. Of, you got to fill up. I'm pretty sure you got to fill out paperwork and do things online. All right,
But
so we
that's,
talked.
I mean, that's great. But if you have like $80,000 or $175,000 worth of debt, you still will have debt to pay
Yeah,
off.
yeah, you still don't have quite a bit.
You still have
Yeah.
to pay.
So I was looking on your some of your social media, and you had a post on three things you can save on
Hmm.
or not to overspend, and you were talking about subscription, like subscription to maybe Spotify or Netflix, something like that. Then you said online shopping and brands. So
I
you want to
wasn't
go
gonna
into
mention names, but yeah.
so no, because we're here. We want to talk about you're the money coach, and you're the
Yeah.
actual financial goal coach. So people are we talking about budgeting basics and tips to saving. So what say you about subscription? I got that Netflix, that Hulu, that Disney Plus. I'm a Star Wars fan. I want to watch Obi-Wan Kenobi. What say you? Do I need that? Is that a need or a necessity? I already know what you're gonna say.
Do you need it? A
What's the
need,
you have? What?
a need is food. You need food, you need clothes, not extremely expensive designer clothes. You need shelter. That's not a need. That's a want.
So do you advise your
That's a want.
clients to reduce subscription or maybe keep one
Yes.
or to
Absolutely.
pay all of them?
I'm look, I'm not gonna tell my clients to do anything drastic like go downstairs in your basement and shut off the power box. Like I'm not gonna have you do
Right,
anything uh that's drastic.
right,
But
right.
I will say, okay, actually be for real. Be honest. It requires you to be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself and say, how much of this am I really watching? Are you really watching all the shows on all the streaming platforms? No, no. Honestly, you don't need
But
it. You
I
want
gotta
it.
keep that Hulu though because I'm watching at the last final season of Atlanta that
Okay.
Mike Tyson joint that they got going on, and then I gotta keep HBO Max to watch Issa
Suspend
Rae.
it.
Oh, suspended. Okay, all right.
Suspend it. You don't look, suspend it, suspend it, or I mean, I don't
You ain't talking about like okay, so that's
I don't want
maybe.
to say this, but you get go in with somebody.
Oh, you're talking about sharing emails. But
Go
listen,
in.
the subscription though, that's nickel and dime. And you're talking about $12 here,
Yeah.
$10. What are some? What about online? You
Yeah,
had
but it's also a time waster
yeah. What
too.
about yeah? Because it's costing you not
It's
just
costing you time.
costing you time when you could be working on some self improvement, maybe working out at the gym, maybe some self knowledge or improving yourself,
Yes.
maybe finding a way to have a stream of income.
Side
Instead of
hustles.
streaming, find a way to have an income stream. See?
There you go.
Okay, reverse. All right. So, what do you say? What say you? Online shopping. You had that as a money saving tip. What do you? What's your tip to your clients? On online shopping.
So I would say if you could not online shop, that would be great because you tend to spend more money. It's your credit card or you have afterpay and you're not really too concerned about the amount you're spending. You're just looking at, oh, this is convenient. And oh, I like this or I want this. But I always say if you could back off from Amazon for like a month or a
Cut
few
the
months, that
Amazon
would be
Prime.
great. Cut the Amazon. Cut
You
it.
got to keep Prime because you do deliveries. And you get to watch the movies and you get deliveries.
Uh,
You know,
cut it.
in real and full disclosure, it's funny. Amazon Prime almost they position themselves almost as a utility because when I
Yeah.
started cutting, I said, "Hey, I don't need Netflix. I can cut Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
What else I had? I had Hulu, Disney. I cut some of those things. But when I got to Amazon Prime, I do order stuff,
Yeah.
and I was like, Amazon positioned themselves like a utility. It's like I felt like Amazon was like consumers or DTE. So I
They're
cut the
like,
other one. I said I can't. I had to keep out. I'm just being real. I couldn't because I do order. I have a business and I order materials,
right.
flyer. So I do use it. It's almost like a utility, but I don't
That's
have
your
to have.
business account or your personal account?
Oh, I have both, but
Okay.
like HBO Max is not a utility. I can live without it. And then, but Amazon Prime, and I just like, hey, and I listen. I use Audible for. I listen to a lot of books for self
Okay.
development. So that was a part of the deal there. Yeah. All right. You said so. Cut
I
back
would
on
say
online
cut
shopping.
it if you could. If
Cut.
you if you can. If it again, if it's not a necessity,
Yeah. Cut it. Cut the
cut it.
subscription.
And cutting it doesn't mean forever.
It's
Cutting
not
it could
forever.
just mean for 2 months. You
Yeah.
know what
You're
I
trying to
mean?
save money to pay things off, right?
Right. It
So
doesn't
you're
mean
talking
forever.
about maybe 30, $40 there. So what are some other savings? So no
Okay.
lace
So
fronts, no box braids. I mean, what are we cutting here? What else? No lattes at Starbucks.
I never say okay. Because when you tell people no, you can't, they're like, oh, well, I don't want to do it. It's
Right.
not a no, you can't. It's a let's not do it as much.
Oh, let's not do it as much.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, let's not do it as much. So if you're going to Starbucks every day, you're spending $10 every day, 5 days a week, that's $50 a week, right? That's $200 a month if it's 4 weeks. What could you do with an extra $200 just by cutting back? Instead of going twice a day, go once a day. Or
Okay.
instead of getting their larger size, get their smaller size. Like there are other options and it seems small, but the small things is what got people into debt. You spend $10 here, $20 here, $100 there, and it adds up and you're like, how did I get here? So
Yeah.
again, doing things like that, learn how to say no, even to yourself. That is the biggest thing. A lot of times we feel pressured to say, "Oh yeah, I'll go out to lunch," or "Oh yeah, let's go on a vacation," when you know you can't afford it. You know what I mean? When
Yeah.
you know when you get back from the vacation, your lights are going to be shut off.
So
Come
knowing
on.
what to say no, cutting some
Knowing
little
when to say
things
no.
temporarily, and
Let
now what's
going
the
of pride. Let go of pride. Remember we talked
lower
about
pride?
that.
Mm-hmm.
Set a savings goal, because when you
Okay.
have a goal, you're like, okay, I have something I'm working towards. Most people are more likely to pay attention on what they're spending when they have something that they're working towards. So
Okay.
set a savings goal, attach something to that savings goal. So I'm saving up for a new car in 2 years. I'm going to cash it out and I'm not going to get a car note. I'm not going to pay interest because I'm going to pay cash.
Now, are you in the Dave Ramsey camp? Uh, no credit at all, no everything cash, housings, cars, or are
No,
you
I
kind of
mean
combination?
credit is good. That's fine. It builds up your credit score,
Right.
but I'm not going to say no credit at all. No.
Yeah. Some people are in that camp. No
But
credit at all. Some people they use credit to build their income.
yeah.
There's guys out there. I don't know if you know. I follow different people. There's a group. Uh, he's known as Him 500. He does
Okay.
these classes and seminars and conferences called Recession Proof, and he teaches people how to use credit, trade lines, all kinds of stuff. So then you have the people, the other. I don't want to say he's extreme. Then you have the people who are like Dave Ramsey, like no credit at
Right.
all. I'm in a combination. Let's use it for a business or I'm a combination. I ain't all or nothing.
I say a combination as well, only because it
Trade line.
really all depends on the person. I
Yeah.
am so into Charles, I'm so into everybody is different. You
Yeah.
might be responsible enough to pay your debt back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Whereas I might not be as responsible, right?
Hmm.
So what works for you is not going to work for me. And it can't be cookie cutter because everybody is not the same.
Okay.
So that's why I am like in between.
I
Credit
want to
is
get in,
good, but cash is also.
yeah, yeah. So we talked a little about credit. I want to get into budgeting for budgeting basics. So we're gonna come. I'm gonna do a little short announcement. We'll come right back. We're gonna
Okay.
get into budgeting basics, cutting, watching how you spend towards brands, and then we're gonna give you an opportunity to share about how people can work directly with you. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll be right back. Hey everyone, this is Charles with Detroit Metro Plug Podcast. If you are finding value in today's video, I invite you to subscribe, like, and comment. We would love to hear your feedback. And don't forget to click on that notification bell so you can be notified when we have upcoming episodes of difference makers in the area of entrepreneurship and community involvement. If you're interested in being a part of our Facebook networking community, I invite you to click on the link to be a part of that community. This is a place where you can network with like minded people and a chance to share about your product or service. If you're interested in working with me directly on how you can share your story with video or with podcasting, you can email me direct at DetroitMetroPlug313 at gmail.com. Thanks again, and let's get back to this interview. All right, welcome back. For those who've been watching and those who just joined us, we're here with the Money Goal Coach, Miss Loretta Williams. She's the founder of LP Consulting and Management. And she shared a little bit about her journey in terms of her life experiences and her education that led her to the point where she wanted to help women and men in the area of financial goals and paying off debt. And so we talked a little about credit, money saving tips, and so we're going to get into budgeting basics. So when you work with your clients, Loretta, and they say, "Man, I don't really have a budget. I don't. My money's going all. I don't know. I'm coming or going. Robbing Peter to pay Paul." What do you do? How do you get them to set up a budget? What's your tips?
So I first ask, okay, are you a tech person or are you the type of person that, you like to write down things or you prefer paper, right? So that is going to help when I'm giving resources and tools on which route you should take because yeah, you should have a budget. And kind of to backtrack a little bit, what is a budget? A budget is like a report card about your finances. A budget is like a report card about your finances. So it shows you two different things. It shows you areas that you need to improve in, and it shows you areas that you're doing good at, right? And so I like to share that because I think a lot of people think this budget is like this huge, big, scary thing. And it's like, no, it's literally just, hey, this is where my money is going. And here's where I need to cut. And here's where I'm doing good at. So just keep that in mind. Like a budget is not, I mean, you have some budgets that are super elaborate and they've got all the bells and whistles. And then you have some budgets that are pretty simple. And so let's stick with the basic budget. A basic budget is going to spell out what you're spending your money on, right? And you have different categories. You have household, you have finances, you have health, health and medical, you have other, you have personal and family, you have housing, which is like your rent, your mortgage. You have food, of course, we have to eat, and transportation. There are different categories, but those are the very basic categories. And so you just jot down, okay, this is how much I spent for this month in food, and this is how much, you know, how much I want to spend, how much I actually spent, how much I plan on spending. So, for example, I can have a budget and I can put like my rent is $300, and transportation, which is gas. I spent, or Uber or Lyft, if you use any of those, I spent $200. And you're just listing how much you spent for that month. At the end of that, you total it up and it'll show all of your expenses. And then you take your income, whatever that is. If you have multiple sources, make sure you put it all down. It is very important for you to be transparent. Don't lie because you're only hurting yourself. You're only hurting yourself. And then what you're going to do at the end of that budget is you're going to subtract your expenses minus your income.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's how much you have left over. Most of the time, I mean, it's not much. And you
Right.
realize I'm overspending, which is why you have the credit cards. I'm overspending, right? What areas can I work better at with that? What areas can I cut back on so that I can pay off that debt or so that I can save? And instead of using that credit card to buy unnecessary things, right? More liabilities, like red bottoms, all kind of things, like things you don't need, you want. So you can save for those instead of going into debt, going in deeper and deeper into that rabbit hole. So, I mean, it's not like people aren't like, oh, yeah, I want a budget. I want to do this. But again, it helps when creating those financial goals because a lot of people don't realize, oh, I don't have a retirement savings fund. Oh, I don't have, you know, an emergency savings fund. If something happened, I couldn't pay the deductible to get what I need. Like, all of these things are things that you don't realize because you're getting paid and all you know is that your money is flying away and you don't know where it's going. So this helps you track where your money's going.
Okay.
That was a mouthful.
So you're saying a budget is a report card on your finance,
Yeah,
and you
absolutely.
tally up all your expenses. What is the tip on how people can track their expenses? I know you talked about somebody into tech or
Yeah, so there are a lot of apps that you can use to track your expenses. Or, I mean, you can use, of course, QuickBooks. That's one of the most popular ones,
this
right?
app on your phone.
Yeah. Yeah, like a regular app on your phone.
What do you
And you
recommend?
link it up to you would link it up to your bank accounts, right? You can link up apps to your bank accounts and it would help you track if as long as you're using the credit card or debit card
Right, right, for
what
your
you're
bank.
spending. Yeah. So it
All right.
doesn't work if you're using cash, but
Okay.
So some of the popular ones are Mint,
Mint.
MINT. I know that's, like I said, that's a popular one. We've all heard of that one.
Right.
Pocket Guard is another one. Pocket Guard.
Okay.
Honeydew.
Honeydew.
Mm-hmm. And Fudget, Fudget, Fudget. So that
Yeah.
one is like the one where you hook up to your accounts
Hmm.
and it shows you it shows you what you're spending. It's kind of scary.
All right. Well, you got to
But
know. You got to have an idea because I think a lot of people
yeah.
don't have an idea what they're spending, and they may have too many subscriptions that they're not even. And subscription is not just on streaming on TV.
No.
It could be
Mm-mm.
music subscriptions. It could be other little things that $1 here, $2 here that you don't pay attention, and so okay, so that's good. So you
And you're
talk
like,
about
what? Where did my money go?
yeah.
Where did my
All right,
money
so I want to get into um, how people can work with you. You're the financial goal coach. So if somebody's watching this and they're like, "That's what I need. I've been trying to do it myself, and I need some accountability, some coaching.
go?
I want
Mm-hmm.
to improve my credit score, pay off debt, get me a house, a car, or save up for that nice vacation in the Bahamas or Jamaica or to Dubai. How do they
Ooh.
how do they work with you?
So you can go to my website,
Mm.
and that's www.lpconsultingsolutions.com. You can also go to my Instagram, and
Mhm.
everything again is there on Instagram, and that is money underscore goal coach.
Money underscore Gold Coast. So I
Yep.
noticed you have a link tree. So they click on the link tree
Yeah.
and they can schedule a
Oh,
session.
mm-hmm. Yep. They can schedule a session. I try to make it as easy as possible.
Now, is that a free consultation or how does when they schedule a session? How does that work?
Yeah. So I do a 15-minute free consultation to see if we're a good fit for each other,
Okay.
like to see if
Mhm.
you like me and to see if I can help you. So, yeah.
And what can they expect to get if they say, "Hey, I like you. I want you to help me"? What services you are you specifically going to provide?
So, again, that tailor made strategy is the biggest thing, right? That is specifically for you and your situation to help you do whatever it is you want to do. And that's anything from paying off your debt to increasing your credit score. And with that, like I also help you if you have debt. Um, we go through what that looks like and how to break that down and make it more manageable and more easy for you to tackle. Also, with the credit score, I know that's popular right now. Everybody's like, "Oh yeah, I can help you with your credit score." It's all included. I give you the template and the letter to send out to the people in your that you may owe, right? Your debtors. So you don't have to like pay per dispute, because I know a lot of people do that, and I don't want to do that. So I give you all the tools you need. It's like again like a coach. So
Okay,
I'm
so you
gonna
work
make sure
with.
that you have all the things you need to be successful.
So I heard three things. You help them with their budget.
Yep,
You help them put a strategy for their goals, and you also assist them with their credit as well.
absolutely.
Now, is that how many sessions do you do a month? Do you talk to them once a week to track them? How typically how long do you work with a client? Is it for a couple of months, 6 months, a year, or something else?
So I would say that the typical client is for a year, once a month. So we have our session once a month, and then I do like mini check-ins with you every week.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm literally your coach. I am literally your coach. Like, hey, what's going on? How are you with this X, Y, and Z? So you're not just another number. You're not getting lost in the sauce. I know where you should be, what you should be doing. And I'm
Okay.
calling to make sure that you're doing that.
Now you're just
That's a
one
big
person.
thing.
Are you
Yeah, it's
going
just
to
me.
so many clients?
It's just
Do you do
me.
group coaching, or you just do one individual, or something else?
I do individual coaching. I'm also in the process of preparing to offer group coaching.
Yeah.
I have done group coaching in the past, and so I'm just tailoring that, making it look a little different. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah. I do
Now,
workshops too. So mostly the workshops are in person, but I can do virtual workshops too. So
now, what I want to know is there any pushback because you're offering a fee for service, and people are like, "Well, I'm trying to get better handle my finances, but I got to pay you to help coach me." What do you, what do you say to those people?
I say this, if you can pay for your $300 weave, your pedicure, your bottle of wine, you can definitely afford my service 2, 3 times, 4 times over.
Right. Okay.
So it's just about that sacrifice and how serious you are. And if you really want to, create that better life for yourself, you'll make the sacrifice. So
Okay.
also too, I also have people who donate. And so those donations go straight towards a financial goal session. So if there is someone who's like, hey, I don't have it,
Okay.
I'm sleeping in my car. I'm trying.
Oh, okay.
Then we
Okay.
do make exceptions
You
and
got
we
people
do
who
have those
donate
funds.
to help people
Yeah,
who are in a financial crisis, and they don't have to pay for
absolutely.
the service. Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
Well, wow. So, how do people, if they're interested in supporting you in that aspect, they want to help others who may being a funny? What's the best way for them to reach out to you?
So it's all through Linktree. There is a button for you to donate,
Okay.
and you just click that button and make your
What's the
donation.
typical donation? What are you looking for? We want to know how we can support.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, any amount helps, to be honest with you. It all goes towards 100% of it goes towards their session. So,
Okay.
whatever that amount is, like if a person can give $5 or a dollar or $10 or
Or
$20, like, or a
$100.
$100
Come on, y'all who watching
or
this
a hundred
podcast,
dollars, you
donate 50
know,
to $100 to help someone who
it all
financial
100%
crisis.
of it goes towards them.
Yeah,
So,
it helps them to get. Yeah.
yeah.
All right, so they can get to you through your share your Instagram and your website one more time for our listeners. And then what about your email? Can they email you?
Yes. Yes, you can email me too. So, once again, the website is www.lpconsultingsolutions.com, and Instagram is money_goal coach. You can DM us and you can also email us at
Okay.
lpconsultingsolutions@gmail.com.
All right, so we got the website, we got the email, we got the Instagram.
Right.
So those who are watching, you want to go deeper in reaching your financial goals and helping to put a budget together. You can schedule that 15-minute session and go from there to see if you guys are fit and have someone work with you, possibly a year or so to get your financial house in order,
You
and
won't regret it.
you
I
will not
guarantee
regret it.
you. You won't regret
Any
it.
upcoming announcements you'd like to share or words of encouragement as we wrap up?
Oh, yes. I'm working on, okay, so sneak peek. This, you are the first person I'm sharing this with.
Oh, I got an exclusive.
Oh, you do. This is my workbook. I don't know if
Oh,
you can see it.
it says Money Goals 101, how to reach your financial
Yes.
goals. Okay.
It's a little blurry, but yeah. So I am in the process of finalizing everything.
Hmm.
It should be ready October, October 1st. So just
So it's
putting
going
that
to be
out
released
there.
through Amazon, or how can we get your book?
Yeah, it'll be on, look, it'll be on Amazon.
You just told us to cut Amazon.
After you buy my book, you can.
You just told us to cut Amazon, so we got to keep Amazon,
You
right?
can
To promote
also
your book.
find it. You'll also be able to find it on my website too
Okay,
for
all right.
purchase.
See, that's why I
So
keep Amazon, so I can support people on this podcast who have books.
actually, I would prefer that people purchase it
Oh,
from me directly,
oh, okay.
instead of going to Amazon because
Get more
they
money,
lowball you so
right?
bad.
I
Yeah.
KPI program, whatever. All right, so
Yeah.
your stuff's going to come out in October. Amazon, your workbook.
An encouraging word would
Yeah,
be to don't give up. Um, there is light at the end of the tunnel. I know that it can be hard. I've been there. I have been homeless. I have been with money and without money. And it's all temporary. Everything is temporary. So,
yes, it is. Everything is temporary.
yeah.
Any impactful books financially that you would recommend people to read besides your workbook?
Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Rich Dad. Okay, that's number one. Give us two more.
Yes.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Other books on finance.
Um, actually, I'll do you one even better.
All right.
I don't know if this is allowed. Can I go get them?
Yeah, go ahead
Can
and
I
get them.
leave for a minute and go get them? I'll be right back.
All right, let's go get them. So she's getting that book. I can do a quick announcement. Mark your calendar for October the 30th, which is a Sunday. October 30th, Sunday. Halloween is the 31st, which is a Monday. But October 30th, Sunday, 2 to 4, we're going to host our fall networking event. It's going to be at Mary Grove College, 2 to 4. I'm working on all the details. We're going to have a speaker from one of the banks. Still working that out. It's going to talk about building your business credit, or maybe someone may come and share about social media. But anyways, so that's going to be
Okay.
October the 30th. We at Mary Grove College. That's a Sunday from 2 to 4. That'll be our fall networking event. So just want to give that announcement. All right, so she's back.
I missed out. I
No,
missed
we
out
good.
on your announcement.
Oh yeah, I was just trying to, occupy some time. Show us your books that you want to share.
Okay. So I'm not going to show the other one, but it is Why We Want You to Be Rich.
All right.
Okay. And that's by the same authors. This one, I know a lot of people may not like her, but some of her stuff is really, really good. Susie Orman, About Debt. It's old school. I don't know if you can
Okay.
see it,
I don't know the camera. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
but that's a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one is again another Susie Orman book, and it is about mutual funds and annuities.
All right. Mutual fund annuities. All right. So get those books at the library or Amazon or
You can get them from the library. I would actually suggest that because
okay.
they are older and the library is usually
Get
free.
them from the library. Okay. All right. I just want to say thank you for your time. This platform is about not only bringing forth difference makers in the area of community involvement and entrepreneurship, but also celebrating those who are doing things in the community and a platform to give you flowers, saying, hey, thank you for what you're doing, the impact you're having on people, helping them reach their financial goals, which is definitely needed as we're facing this winter, as they say, possible recession. Or,
Yeah.
we definitely got a budget because the gas prices have been up, food costs are up, the snacks budget is up.
There's so
When you
much you
go to
can
the
do with
movies,
that.
everything is up. So we got to have a budget and figure things out. So your services are needed. So thanks again for being
Thank
on the
you.
podcast. Hmm.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, that wraps things up. Thank you, those who joined us live. And if you're going to watch the playback, I'll have our guests' information on the playback on YouTube in the description. We'll have the email and website and the Instagram location there. If you want to connect and work deeper with Miss Loretta Williams, and she can help you reach your financial goals. So, thanks again. Everyone, have a good night. Enjoy this fall weather and we'll see you next week. Thanks again.